Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Muslim Professional Group podcast series, where we dive into stories of our Muslim professionals. And today we have brother Mohamed Karmous. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here today.
Well, we're glad to have you. Can you please introduce yourself to us?
Right, so I'm Mohamed Karmous, executive partner of QMK Consulting. It's a company that provides various accounting services and advisory and consultation for startups mainly and franchises. So I came from Egypt 7 years ago. So I've been here in the country for around that much. And we started mainly, I come from an audit background. I used to work in KPMG back home.
Oh, great.
And when I came here, I started working more on SMEs, especially after the pandemic. I wanted to help more startups, because they got hit so bad during the pandemic. And I started my company in 2021, and we started focusing on, just the basics, bookkeeping, payroll services, and taxation. And eventually, right now, we can help businesses to become a franchise. And this is the thing that I wanted to help the community, especially the Arab community. There is a lot of very bright business owners. They have very good business going on, but they don't know the steps. They don't know what's required to become a franchise. And this is where we come.
This is very impressive. Actually, the other day I was at a networking event, and some people were asking us, so how do you help businesses, right? And then this can be one of the questions is how can I be a franchise company of another? Mm-hmm. So I do see other companies where they have offers for that. They could be a franchise of someone else, but that's great. You'll kind of share some of that today.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what's the name of your company?
So it's QMK. So it's the initials of our last names as partners. Okay. So Q for Quintana, our first partner. The second partner, Maurice. This is the last name. And my last name is Karmous. So this is the initials for our last names. So we came together from different backgrounds. So George Quintana, he was a tax professional he has a various accounting service here in the U.S. He's been working in taxation for more than 15 years now. And he specializes mainly in offering compromise, dealing with the bad guys in the IRS, trying to help anyone who is in deep trouble with them. The same with Munir. We used to work together back home. We've been friends for more than 17 years now.
That's great.
And we went to school together, to college, and eventually at work. We worked as well in KPMG for a while. And when I came to the U.S., we had this dream to open our own company, and eventually we did it, in 2021. And now we are able to, live that dream, help the people, and, we started switching, and our passion mainly on the restaurants recently, but we still have served many different industries like real estate, insurance companies, professional services, and etc.
That's great. So I'm assuming what inspired you is your friendship with Munir, or are there any other inspiration stories that inspired you to start QMK?
Well, it's a mix of both, because we had this dream since 2016, after we graduated in 2013 and we started working in KPMG. We dreamt one day to have our initials on the door. And when I came to the U.S., there was a lot of opportunities that opened. Especially I saw in our community that it needs a lot of help when it comes to accounting service, taxation service. There's a big room and big space to grow. And this is what I saw. This is where we can help the most, because we used to be auditors. We used to audit corporates. We know how to structure businesses in the proper way, establish corporate governance. So we can take a small or mid-sized business into a corporate level within certain frame time, and eventually become a successful franchise. So
that's great. So what I hear here from your story, you have a lot of determinations, right? So
yeah.
You and Munir and your third partner, seems like you had a lot of determination, that you actually had a goal and you thrive to achieve that goal, and now you have your own company to help others, can have a franchise and things like that. It's a really impressive story. I like that.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit more. I know you did mention you work with restaurants, real estate, and others, but why focusing on restaurants?
Because restaurants are one of the industries that is very hard to work in, and especially after the pandemic, they got hit so bad. They got affected the most, even though the government tried to help, but still it wasn't enough. And compared to other industries, there is a huge potential in this restaurant, and it's easier to franchise than other restaurants. So, and I know that most of our community, like this is like the go-to business. Like if you want to open something, it's either you want to open a restaurant or open a daily grocery. So we work with all different types in the food industry, not just like the basic dine-in or like the food vendors. No, it's just also the suppliers. If you have like if you're a manufacturer of food or if you're a distributor of food, we work with a whole supply chain as well. And it's one of the industries that like it's a major industry here in the U.S. And you can lose money very fast in this industry if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't manage your cash flow properly. So this is where our expertise in that area can help like a lot of restaurant owners save so much money and manage their cash flow, because between paying your labor, your suppliers, the permits, like getting the government off your back, especially if you are operating in New York or New Jersey, there is a lot of compliance that you need to go through. And we have a full team dedicated to that, to make sure that you're not just in compliance, you also have a full reading, a full reports that you keep getting on a monthly basis to understand what's going on and be able to take proactive actions toward that.
That's great. So let me just understand. So you said restaurant, we're talking about food, cafes, deli, you name it.
Everything.
And then even though they don't want to do restaurants, he also deals with other things like real estate.
So real estate, and which include like real estate agents, constructions, rental investment, like because there's a lot of type of real estate development. And we worked with many of them. I have a lot of clients here in Jersey and in New York in that specific field. But real estate is very, like I think it's very straightforward. There's a lot of, like there's many details to it when it comes to the industry itself. But I think, like we wanted to focus on this in the beginning, but like most of the real estate developers, like it's a market that depends a lot on like how the economy is doing, and it can be very slow sometimes and can be very fast growing. So, but the restaurants, they are always opening, they are always growing, and they're always in need of help. Like
absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, but I would be happy to help anyone in the community, depending, no matter what is the industry you're working in. We have like doctors, and like my wife is a doctor myself.
Amazing.
So
that's really good.
So it's
we should definitely invite her on the next podcast.
Probably.
So the other, I did hear you saying New Jersey, New York. So what states do you service, or you kind of provide these LLC or franchise, or you're limited just to the tri-state area, or you're expanding like nationally?
That's a very good question. So right now we serve like across all the U.S. So we work remotely. We have teams like in certain states that when we need to be there like physically, but most of our services are done online. So from opening a corporate or doing any registration, any state, or deregistration, moving or applying for business licenses. So all the corporate formation services, we provide that in every state in the U.S. And we also provide all our services online. So no matter which state you are in, we can help you in that state to be in compliance and, like file your taxes and pay everything, like be compliant in the state.
That's great. So just a follow-up question to that. So that means your company, QMK, is familiar with compliance, with every other state. I'm sure New Jersey is different than New York, than Ohio, than any other state. So I'm not too familiar with what compliance is really needed with that, or any risk managements that they have to take when they're kind of helping with opening a franchise. So that you're saying you have a team that can also, you're familiar with all of these different
Exactly. So we have CPAs almost in every state. So and we, whenever there's a need for, let's say, an audit representation in a certain state, we definitely can provide that help. And depending on what is the need of that business, and especially with the requirement of the state, especially the private states like you mentioned, Ohio. There's also the state of Maryland. There's a lot of requirements and a lot of details only the accountants of the states know about. So that's why we partnered with a lot of accountants in the states that they know all the ins and outs, and they provide the services under our name.
That's great. Very good. So of course, especially with our community, they would love to hear you have, your consulting agency, their other consulting agency. What really sets you apart?
So what sets us apart is mainly our focus on the franchise. So when you work with us, like most accountants, I worked here in different accounting offices before we opened the company. So they focus mainly on the tax filing at the end of the year and the compliance part, but there is more to the accounting service than that. So accounting service can be used like everyone in, from our background is familiar with, that we just file our taxes at the end of the year. We don't want any problem with the IRS, or we can use that as an investment and turn every expense you're paying into an investment that will provide you more insightful information and knowledge that will help you run your business in a more efficient way. So, and this is the main important part, because sometimes you think that your business is driving a profit, but you didn't know all the details. You didn't know there is much more to it, especially when you're applying for loans or you're trying to get new investors. There's a lot of information that you need to have and need to know as a business owner before you take important financial decisions like this. And when you have someone working with you across the whole year, it's different than having someone just to file your taxes at the end of the year. And the same when it comes to franchise. Like when you're dealing with a business that wants to become a franchise, it's different from a business that wants to just be the same or just make profit, because it's different type of compliance. It's like preparing to go into a league or playing in the Olympics or just playing a sport for fun. So this is one of the things that I usually use this example with my clients so they can understand. So, and there is no, I'm not saying there is anything wrong for wanting to be, just owning a business that's not a franchise. There's that, a lot of business owners, they settle for that, and it's fine as long as you are managing everything right. You don't have any problem or you don't have any issues or challenges you're facing financially. But trying to be a franchise, that's a completely different game. You need to make sure you have a very successful business model. So, a lot of people would be invested in this model and start buying your idea and operating under your name. So
that's great.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. So of course, everyone likes to hear personal stories. So can you tell me a story or two about some of your clients, how you really helped them, right? Yeah. And how they really felt the difference and the impact of your services with them?
That's actually very good. I have a couple great example. So recently, client X, she came to us with, she has a very nice moving business in New York, and she was struggling mainly with cash flow management, and but she didn't know that she was struggling with that. She just had tremendous amount of debt, and always a problem with making her payment on time. So what we did for her is we did a cash flow model management, and we started budgeting for everything that she's spending. and we would meet with her on a weekly basis to review like her cash spendings, to review like forecast her next sales, and we were able to manage like her cash flow and turn the cash flow deficit into a positive amount on the bank within like 6 weeks of work. And also it's situational between one business owner to another, like
Absolutely.
how fast they would work with you and they start taking the medicine,
Right.
And applying it. This can work faster with some business owner when they start applying the steps that we work with them. We usually assess like all the problem that this client is suffering from, and then we start like putting like the fast solution for this problem, and then we start working on growth after, because you can't build on a foundation that is shaky. You need always to
Absolutely.
fix what the client is feeling pain from,
Right.
and then move on, helping getting them better and stronger.
So what was the outcome of client X?
So the outcome that right now she has more money in the bank. She is able to pay her like all her bills on time. She doesn't miss any bill anymore. We set up like a nice automated system. So we use also like technology a lot when it comes to like vendor payments on like we automated all this from her bank. So right now she's not missing anything. She's collecting her payment faster, like her invoices, and right now she is, because at the end of the day on the books she's making a profit, but like managing your cash is completely different thing
Absolutely.
from the profit you're making at the end of the year.
Absolutely. Alhamdulillah, I see your company is very diverse, right?
Yeah.
But then when it comes from a Muslim, the Muslim professional aspect of it, how do you really help like Muslim professionals with your consulting agency?
So we actually do that through two different things. So I'm gonna start first with the employee part, because we help like externally with the clients, and of course internally with like training for Muslim professionals, not just here in the U.S. and also in the Middle East. So we have tried to hire before, and we're still doing that in like from the UAE, from Egypt, from Algeria, from Tunisia. So there's a lot of of our team that come from this background, and we usually do like an internship every summer to help like young professionals to understand the compliances and the difference between the U.S. GAAP, the generally accepted accounting principles here in the U.S., and between the international financial reporting standards back home that most of our country use. But and this is one of the big difference to be able to prepare them, like to help and serve in the U.S. market from their own home. Like they don't even have to be here. So this is one thing that we do to help like young Muslim professionals. And when it comes to clients, there's many challenges that a lot of Muslims can face here in the U.S. Like especially if you want to drive a complete halal business that you don't want to have any challenges with or interest, or you don't want to have any challenge with compliance that defies our Sharia. So this are one of the things that, since most of our team, they come from a Muslim background, and so they know how to help with that. They know how to find a turnaround for you to be able to maintain your business halal, and to make sure that everything you're doing is compliant.
Great. So do you also have like Muslim clients within your consulting agency?
Yeah, it's like I think like 40% of our clients are Muslims. Yeah.
That's really great. They
Yeah.
like to eat a lot. No, I was just kidding.
Yeah.
So I would say, I'm sure you have been into this field for quite some time, and there has to be some struggles or challenges you have went through. So from these challenges and obstacles, what advice do you really give like new business owners, entrepreneurs?
So I would say the first thing you need to do before like you open any business or invest is like do a lot of research about the idea that you're going to invest in and the market that you're going to invest in, because there is a lot of things. I'm pretty sure like everyone goes right now on Google and they do like enough research, but sometimes it's not enough, and you find like a lot of surprises in the middle of the road. And this is when, my second advice is to find a proper like professional service provider like for the areas that you're gonna need in that business. So let's say if you're going to work and open a business that you're gonna hire a lot of employees, you need to make sure you have a good professional payroll company helping you with that. You need to have a proper accountant to help you set up a business and and follow all the compliances of the state that you're in. So the same when it comes to finding a good lawyer. So these are the three pillars that are going to help you with that business, because in every business there's two parts. There's the administration part that usually like a small business owner take and wear all the hats of doing the marketing, the business development, the accounting sometimes. Like they do everything on their own. And that's understandable when you are still like in the beginning, you don't have
But you're
funding.
not going to thrive, right? At the end of the day, when you're trying to wear all these hats, you're going to burn out and you're not going to thrive. And that's where you guys like really come in.
Exactly. Burnout is the first thing. The second thing, you hit a ceiling where you feel like you are doing too much and you're not doing everything the right way. So things start to fall between the cracks. And this when you start having problems with compliance, start having problems with people, because what we learned from the audit is before we audit the numbers, we have to audit the process and the procedure. And every organization is consistent of three things: process, people, and the technology or the tools used.
Right.
So these are the three pillars that every organization is built on. So in the beginning, you are doing everything. You are handling the tools, you are handling the process, and sometimes we don't even do that in writing. We just do it from our own, we faced a challenge, we overcome it through a certain solution. So this is what we're gonna keep doing.
Right.
So, but
they don't know there's like better choices or better options out there that can benefit them.
Exactly, a better structure that you're going to, you're going to have a better foundation on.
Right.
So your business would be built on a stronger foundation that will support the growth you're going to drive in the future.
Great. So I heard the word technology a few times.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear, it seems like there's different technologies that you're using within your consulting agency, or maybe technology that you recommend, right? So can you kind of like deep dive into the technology part of this process to kind of like help other business owners?
Absolutely. So when it comes to technology, every industry right now, since the AI is taking over in many things, you can use the AI to really drive a profit for your business or save you money in most of the times. So right now, if you are in, I'm gonna take the restaurants as this is like the perfect example. There is many technologies right now that can help you set up a fully automated process to track your sales, manage your accounting and bookkeeping, even, with integration with your point of sale system that you use in the restaurant. Use an automated system for your employees, so so when they clock in, everything is reflected back on the HR system that you're using. So there is a lot of things that can help you track and generate the reports you need without even the interference of human factor into it. But at the end of the day, if you don't know how to manage and set up this stuff the proper way, it can backfire on you. At you. So this is one of the most important things, that technology is just a tool, but we still need someone who understands
Right.
the knowledge and the know-how of how you you can drive that, because this is very important. And right now, technology is a very, very powerful tool that can there's a lot of young business owners that I saw 18 or 17 who start their own business, and was a sponsor from their parents, and they're able to drive good profit because technology helped them figure it out, so. And I'm not talking about just simple technology like ChatGPT or OpenAI. No, there is a lot of technologies right now that can really help you in your industry and be able to become better than other competition that they didn't use this technology.
That's really good to know. So, from our perspective, like as Muslims, right, and also being professional, how do you really balance that, like from your professional consulting with your faith?
That's a very tough question.
It's a heavy one, right?
It is. But especially when you are living in the U.S., it's very different. Like, I used to work in corporate life back home, which was not like a walk in the park, but I would still be able to find that balance. But here in the U.S., I think you have to put it as part of your plan or priorities, because if you don't put your faith as part of your priority, it will be, like a secondary deteriorating. Your, like spirituality is not as it used to be. And I'm pretty sure a lot of
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kind of puts everything else into place.
This is how it goes. And I swear, me personally, this was the case for me in the beginning. And I'm not gonna lie, I faced a lot of challenges when I came here, especially with work in the beginning. And alhamdulillah, every time I would go back to Allah, and I remember that this is like my priority here. I came here to become not just a better human being or become better professionally, no, but also to become a better Muslim. Even though there is a lot of things in this country that can contradict with what we are doing, but it doesn't stop us from practicing our faith and becoming a better Muslim. And I saw here, like, a lot of Muslims that they practice Islam even better than what I saw in our homeland.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's true. It's like you become much closer because you kind of like, we call, like, you kind of into a life of like you're running on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
And then as you're saying, sometimes you're like, okay, I have to kind of like pause and just remember, like, there's priorities that we have to set.
Exactly.
And it's our faith. And then once you remember Allah and everything, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you and He will add barakah into that, and then your business will grow, or your life, or your children, or your family.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
alhamdulillah,
I used to, like, and I still do that. Like, I use Friday prayer, like, always as I remember, like, a reminder for myself. Like, even if my week was too busy, I have to do that. I have to dedicate the time to go. And I know it might be a challenge for a lot of professionals, especially if you have like a full-time job, or like you can't leave your post, and it can be tough, but you can find a turnaround for yourself. You can try to listen to the khutbah online to do that. And it's a challenge that we're living in, but you can always find a solution for it. And my friend, it was very hard for me sometimes to like come back and work on time, because at some point I wasn't an accountant, like, even though I was corporate.
Of course, when we come to our country here, you have to kind of do everything it takes to help you.
Exactly.
In a halal way.
Yeah.
It helps you to achieve your business and things like that.
Yeah.
So if it was one or two things as a takeaway to let everyone know about QMK, and it's a takeaway to kind of come to you as Mohamed to help them, right?
Yeah.
To start their franchise business. Either it's focused in restaurants or in other professions or real estate or anything else. What are the two things that mainly you want to give back to your Muslim community to know?
So this actually was one of the main reasons why I came here today, and I'm really glad you asked this question, because there's a lot of things that I want to contribute to our community, first with the knowledge and expertise of everyone on my team, and especially in the field of franchising, because I know it's like a big area. I know there's a lot of business owners in our Muslim community, or even like new investor, someone wants to start a business and they don't know how to structure it the right way that will make them be able to drive a profit. And this is one of the expertise that and knowledge that I want to contribute with and give back to the community. And we have a lot of partners that can help you, like walk the right steps. And you still need to do your part. You still need to do your effort, but we will be able to guide you through that in the right way, so you will be able to reach, like the other side safely. And the second thing is we are going to, like we're also offering for all non-for-profit organization, like a free service for, like the current year. So, and like mosques or, like a volunteer organization, all that.
Or the Muslim professional group.
Exactly. Like, so we provide all our services for non-for-profits for free for this year. And
so this is just to kind of confirm what you're saying. So you're saying non-for-profit receive free services on from this July to the end of 2025.
Exactly.
And if you're coming through MPG, you add 2 months extra.
I'll add another year extra.
Well, that's great. So, so this is really great. So basically, you want to give back knowledge. Like you really want to tell them, some of the things that we have lack of knowledge on, right?
Yeah.
And then that's great that you're really offering this service, especially as a non-for-profit. Sometimes we do struggle of where to find the services, right? Especially in the beginning, some non-for-profit may not have the means to start with such services. And I think this is really great when you kind of like help them and lift them also as well, to kind of be on the right, the right step or where they should be starting.
Exactly.
It kind of like will help to kind of further their organization, and always they may come back and kind of help you in different ways as well.
And like, and I'm really doing it like for this one for the sake of Allah before anything. And I wanted really like to help back, because I know like how hard it is here, like to be able to, like not just survive and drive, like to like having a business on your own, that's hard, but finding the time to help other here, that's, I think this is an act of heroism like from my perspective, and that's why I want to give back to everyone who finds the time to help other people. It's my way of saying thanks to them.
That's really great. I actually had the pleasure of being with you today, Mohamed, and learned so much about QM Consulting. And I hope everyone else who watches this video, we will be leaving Brother Mohamed's information on the bottom of the link. And then make sure you follow us for more. And then thank you so much, and Jazakallah khair for being here today.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you all for, taking the time to watch this.
Thank you.